Hello folks, and welcome back to the workshop. This is another odds and ends video, so we're going to do some updates and some things that have arrived for me, and I'll give you a quick look around any changes in the workshop too. Now it's been a while since I did a video. I haven't had as much time down here as I would like. It's been very cold and I've been a bit ill on and off. I think I burnt myself out with the move, and I've been pretty fatigued since then, but I feel like I'm bouncing back, so ready to carry on now. There's also been a lot of house stuff. I spent the first few weeks dedicated to getting the workshop sorted, or just getting things roughly sorted, and because I was dedicated to that, the sort of progress on the house really ground to a halt. So I've been trying to catch up on that, and yeah, so I've just haven't had as much time down here as I would have liked. So first of all, some new things arrived for me. Now these arrived before I moved. These are some Hyman Manufacturing Co. transfer punches that Matty sent me, Matty's workshop. And these are really cool. I've actually made some of these. I made some of these for the top of the mill when I made the dropped one. Top of the mill when I needed to mount the motor plate to the top. I needed to make 3 little transfer punches to screw into the top of the casting, and they look like that. Excuse my fingers. Basically, they're a thread with some kind of driving mechanism. In this case, a male hex and a point, and these are hardened because they're commercially made ones. And the holder that they come in has that same socket that drives the threads in. So yeah, you have to have a set that suits each size of thread that you want to transfer. So I've got a couple of Imperial ones here, and I'll put them back in the box later. But yeah, thank you, Matty, that's really appreciated, and those are some very cool tools. Okay, next thing that came was some stickers from Cam. Cam's got another small channel. He's also an Australian, and he's in the mainland, and he's made this sticker, which I think is beautiful. It's one of the nicest looking stickers on my board, I think. It looks just like a machine tag, so it's great. And it's, yeah, his channel's called Cam at Battler. You may well have seen his stuff. If you haven't, then definitely have a look. He's an actual engineer, unlike the rest of us that play one on TV. He's a real engineer, and it shines through in his projects. He always has a proper blueprint type drawing. He always goes to the next level of working out, the sort of correct materials for a job, the forces on each part of the project, and how to size all the components to take those forces and all the rest of it. He does the full engineering job. He's also good at winging it and guessing. And he's got a good video that he did recently about his engine crane that he overloaded it supremely and bent everything and straightened it all out and made a new crossbar and re-welded all the fillets and things at the bottom. Yeah, so he's not afraid to have a go either. That was the stickers from Cam. So thank you, Cam. Those will go on the board, and I'll insert a bit of video here of those stickers going on the board. Now I don't yet have a permanent place for my sticker boards, because I'm hoping to cover up some of these walls when some funds become available, and energy and time. And I don't really want to mount too much to the walls, only to have to take it all back off later. So anyway, the other big bit of news was I've reached 2,000 subscribers. I can't remember what the number was last time I made an update video, but the number of subscribers has just been trucking along, and it's blown past the 2,000 point, and I don't really know why, because I haven't done anything to deserve it in the last few weeks. So thank you everybody that's subscribed, and welcome to new subscribers. It's not a very good signal to have a 2-month hiatus on the channel, but you know, that's hopefully a bit understandable. To celebrate having the 2,000 subscribers, I've got another giveaway. This is another one of the workshop practice series books, Tool and Cutter Sharpening, and in here are some information about sharpening tools and cutters, mostly for lathes, but drill bits and all that kind of stuff. And I think there's a plan in here for a grinding rest. Where is it? There's a grinding rest there. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll overlay some video with all adjustments and a sliding crossbar and all that kind of stuff. And I intend to make it. And you might think, why am I giving the book away if I intend to make it? Well, I actually have 2 copies of this book. So there's no point in me having 2 copies. Someone else can have this copy, and all you've got to do to enter is subscribe and leave a comment below saying I'm in, or whatever you want. Make it funny if you want, and I'll do a draw in at least 7 days. I'll make a video. I'll make sure it's not before 7 days from now, or from publish date of this video, and we'll go from there. It might be 8 or 10 or 12 days, but you know, you've got at least a week to get in. So the other bit of news was I had a birthday a few weeks ago, and I treated myself to a sandblasting cabinet, just a small tabletop one, and a parts washer. Now I haven't actually opened the parts washer yet. I need somewhere to put it. I need a table or a stand or something. And I haven't quite got to the bottom of figuring out what kind of degreaser or detergent or sort of alkali cleaner, whatever. Haven't figured out what to put in there yet. So that's just still in the box, and I haven't had a go with it yet. Sandblaster I have had a go with, and it is great fun. And my compressor just about keeps up. I've been sandblasted everything with rust on it, and it's good. It's good way of getting things clean. The reason I bought it was it seems like I always gravitate back to restoring things and cleaning up old things, and partly that's because I don't have the funds to buy brand new everything. Partly it's because buying new things is not a great idea. Even if you had the funds, it's kind of expensive for the quality of tool that you can get in a lot of cases. Now, don't get me wrong, you can get brilliant tools brand new, and the companies that make them, like Festool and all the rest, they know how to charge. But if you buy older stuff that's still in good nick, you can save a lot of money. If you buy older stuff that's in terrible nick, you can save even more money, and that's what I tend to do. So lots of my machines are used and old and needed fixing and needed cleaning and all that kind of stuff. Sandblaster really helps with prepping metal parts for refinishing. I'm really taken by the cold bluing process. I made a couple of parts for a sliding door in the house, just steel blocks really with some tapped holes, replacing plastic parts, and I sandblasted them and gave them a cold blue finish and oil, and they look great. They look like they came off a shelf in a shop, so I'm happy with that. And I intend to do a couple of restoration videos. I've been spurred on by Tom Make Here, sorry. I've been spurred on by his conversations we've had, and his latest video on his Was Make Here channel is excellent. I'll give you a link up there. He does a vice restoration. Everybody's done a vice restoration, but he makes some parts using obviously machine tools and stuff, and yeah, he nailed it. So I'd like to follow in his footsteps a little bit. Okay, so I'll overlay a bit of video of the Sandblast, just a picture of the outside of it. It's not plumbed up to vacuum yet, so I can't really show you it in use. But I'll show you the Sandblast cabinet and show you the box for the parts washer at least. The other thing that came was a friend of mine had a bunch of jobs for me to do, small, just little one-off parts, machining jobs and that kind of thing. He's building a CNC, and he was talking about getting rid of his old CNC. It's a small thing. It's a CNC router, and it's in a cabinet that we made together a couple of years ago. And so what was happening was he's building a bigger CNC, didn't have room for this one. He said he was getting rid of it, and I said, let me know before you get rid of it because I might be interested. And he came back to me with a suggestion that we trade the CNC for some of these small jobs that I've been doing for him. So he's given me a list and we're working through it bit by bit. And he's given me the CNC. So I'm really, really grateful for that. It's probably a pretty generous payment, although the list is quite generous as well. So, I mean, I've only got basic knowledge about stepper controllers and stepper drivers and CNC and G-code and stuff. I've spent some time with a CNC router before and laser cutter and 3D printers. I've been involved in a couple of the hacker spaces and maker spaces locally, and yeah, it's not something I really do in the workshop here. It's all manual machining, but I am interested in that kind of stuff. I just feel like too many people go straight to the automated stuff and don't learn how to run the manual machines properly. So that's something I didn't want to do myself. Hence the manual machines. I mean, don't get me wrong, CNC milling massive chips and massive amounts of swarf off of a slab of steel is great fun, but it's expensive, and I think it depends on you having good knowledge of basic machining first to do it properly. There hasn't been a great lot of progress in the workshop because of the lack of time I've had down here, but I have got a little bit of concreting done where there was some soil erosion near the foundations on this wall. I won't show too much of that because I don't really want any comments on how I could have done it better. But I've got the floor clear in this clean room area. I've got the floor clear in the big area, mostly. I'll walk the camera around in a moment and show you how things are. Okay, this area here is the back of the clean room area. I should move these things. And this here is the bricks. This is the concrete foundation, and there's an area here. This area was dug out and the slab was applied after, and there was an area here where we had soil eroding out. And what should have happened was you can't quite see it, but the block wall comes around this corner and it stops short of here. Really, it should have carried on all the way to this corner, so that it could be backfilled and so that the soil can't move. The soil isn't structural, the new concrete isn't structural. This is the thing that has the beam strength. This is just there to fill the gap and sit underneath it. And you can see a bit of Rio poking out there. I'm going to do a bit more around to this corner and then it's good from here on. So I'm not worried about it. I've spoken to a couple of people that know what they're talking about, and yeah, none of this wall has moved. It's all good. So, okay. So the clean room has a clean floor for the first time, as of like 2 or 3 days ago. So that's a major thing for me. I'm pretty terrible at stepping on things and tripping over things. So having the floor clear is quite important. And yeah, there's stuff on surfaces, fair enough, like here and here and here. The surface plate always has a cover on it in case you're worried, so there's no problem there. I've got rags and lamp and lights and old routers and things like that, so that's going to get processed and cleared out and got rid of. The grinding room looks like this. Here is the new little Sandblaster. This bucket is underneath a shower P-trap because there's a slight leak. That's about a week's worth, but I just didn't want it going on the Sandblaster. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I've got an extension. I've got 2 of these hoses, and I'm gonna plumb those into the compressor, which is there. and I'm going to try and run them around the room and just try and have a bit of a poor man's plumbing setup. This is the CNC machine that I was talking about, and it's a Chinese-made router, basically. It's got some mods. We put some end stops on it and a solid aluminium plate bed and things like that. We made this control cabinet for it with arcade joysticks for jogging and arcade buttons and stuff like that. And this is all on a pull-out drawer. It's high volt and low volt separation. Obviously, it's a rat's nest at the moment. But we also had a shelf with a monitor in it and storage underneath for the computer and power supply and stuff. So yeah, this is quite a useful little machine, and it'd be great for making PCBs and maybe even sort of etching nameplates for machine tags and that kind of thing. That'd be nice. But I'm not sure how much of that I'll show on this channel. We'll have to see how it goes. But you know, there's the machine. If you're interested in it, let me know, and we can do some videos on it. Material storage area. I can at least walk in there now, and there's a few more materials stacked up that need to be put away. There was a whole bunch of materials behind there that came with the place, and some cabinets up here. One of those cabinets has become the Sandblast cabinet, and the other one is now under the MCO lathe. So they were a bit rickety, so I've had to weld some of the joints, but it does work. The MCO lathe isn't functional yet. It still needs a motor mount, but at least it's now at a height where I can work on it, and the bits for it are stored with it, so it's pretty easy to get to, and I can slide the whole thing out on the pallet jack, so that's pretty cool. The pile of materials is now in one place. The pile of metalwork materials is now in one place. I need to think about a solution for this, so any ideas, let me know. The bandsaw has a new home in the metalwork area, along with the mill and the mill tooling cabinet and lathe tooling. Building and sort of home renovation stuff is now under the stairs, so it doesn't encroach on the rest of the important stuff. So this area was clogged with stuff until yesterday, and I still haven't patched that, but I can now walk through here without bumping into things, which is major. The welding table still has drill press stuff and torch stuff on it, and I haven't done that yet. Need some kind of drill bit storage near the drill press. I need some kind of table to put the arbor press on and the bar bender. And this is full of small clamps, and I've got clamps here, here, and here. And I need some kind of decent clamp storage for that. Now this area here, there's a bit of wall here that you won't have recognised. This was a window. It's now just a flush mount wall. And this is an interesting development. I did this last week. This was a window, and on the outside it is still a window. And I cleaned the window really well, and inside and out, and I put black form ply against the inside of the window, just an inch off the frame, or 25mm off the frame, and that became the back panel for a sandwich for a bit of a wall that now has insulation in the middle and is lined on the inside and painted. You can still see filler here, but needs another coat. The idea of this was to increase privacy and to increase acoustic resistance, so I don't want to get noise in and out. I don't want to get noise from the road, and I don't want my noise to affect neighbours. And it keeps the heat in and out, so when it's hot outside or hot inside, that's there's no heat movement as much through that area. This is all just single skin brick, so it's not an insulated building, but the window was leaky and cold, basically, and it's the coldest part of the year at the moment. It's also a security measure. I've now got deadbolts on the door, and I've got this window being sort of, basically it's boarded up, but boarded up nicely, and it looks neat and tidy from the outside. It just looks like a black curtain behind the window. So yeah, we've fixed the noise, the heat, the security, the privacy, and light as well. So people think, oh my goodness, you need to have loads of natural light in a workshop. That's great until you're making videos. If you want to have some kind of constant exposure over a time lapse, or not have to fuss with your video settings, having a window changing the cloud comes past and all your lighting changes, it's actually a real pain. So I've lit in here so that it is like daylight anyway, or as close as I could get, and it still be affordable to run. But this window wasn't adding much light because this is the south side of the house, the cold side away from the equator. So not much sun was coming in anyway. So that's that story. And the woodwork area really hasn't changed much. There's a pretty clear floor. I tend to stack up things by the door. Most of this stuff needs to go. I've got these spanners for sale, and some bits of rubbish that need to go, and some apricot wood that needs to be cut up on the bandsaw. But it's all temporary. And the bench is now levelled. I haven't got the vise on it yet, but that's coming soon. So thanks for watching. I'm going to end the video now, and all you need to remember is, if you want a chance of winning that book, all you've got to do is subscribe, comment below saying that you're in, and we'll do a draw in a week or so and get it sent out anywhere. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.